Peace, friends and enemies. Welcome to the Sofa King Interesting Show. I am your host, Matuse the Pharaoh, and I'm wearing a red leather jacket.
You're looking fresh.
Yeah.
Shit. My name is Michael, and I heard Mohshin's got something very important to say.
And you're wearing
an orange jacket.
Leather jacket.
Damn.
Yes, people, on to some more serious matters. My name is Mohshin, and I believe that the lazy and the unproductive should seek to get motivated or get walked straight to the gallows.
I love the extremes.
And you're wearing a purple leather jacket.
Inspired by Willy Wonka and the Joker.
You're a hero. The one who would send lazy people to the gallows.
Today on Sofa King Interesting, I want to show you guys just a couple of videos I found on TikTok. And there's this video I want to start with about a certain location that was found on Google Maps that is obviously a military base, perhaps. And it's just trippy imagery. And take your perspective on it and what you guys think is there. Let's check it out. You guys ready for this?
Are we ready?
Yeah, ready for this.
I've seen this TikToker
Classic.
post about this crazy discovery on Google Earth. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go suss it out myself because I couldn't believe it. Anyways, this shit is real, guys. It's located in California, just above Ridgecrest. And as you can see when you scroll in, wait for it, getting closer, there is literally like a freaking ship right next to the entry of this like portal to another dimension looking thing. And if you scroll down and like around, you'll see that there's like military tanks everywhere, like guarding this place. So yeah, like it blows my mind. I really want to know what the hell this thing is. Anyways, after days of like searching Ridgecrest into Google Earth from my laptop, I was literally blocked and I wasn't able to type it in anymore. So I found that really sus. Anyways, a few weeks went by and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it again. So I tried and this time it worked. So as I kept looking, I discovered that Area 51 is actually very close by. So as you can see, there's Ridgecrest down below. And then if you just go diagonally to the right, there you can see Area 51. Some other weird things that I found near this Ridgecrest area. To the right is some like red looking pool. Looks like a bloody pool of blood. But yeah, it's like hidden behind these sort of like mountain tops. And then you see like a helicopter pad for landing. Some helicopters, some cars and vehicles, and some more tanks. And if you go up, you'll see like these like kind of roads that lead to these like weird warehouse looking things. But if you keep going further up, this thing, this circular thing, looks like a bloody landing pad for UFOs. And literally right near it are like actual underground bunkers. So if you scroll in, you can actually see that there is stuff underground because you can see the driveway and the land coming up. I'll show you here as well. See that? There's obviously some underground stuff going on. So yeah, creepy stuff, guys. Anyways, after months of trying to search about what this thing is on Google, I was then hacked on my laptop out of nowhere when I started getting really deep into this stuff. And yeah, now my laptop is pretty much stuffed. So yeah, I thought I'd come to TikTok and ask and see if anyone knows what the hell this is.
What the hell?
Let me just say this now before anyone tries to come at me. No, I did not open any scams or emails or anything like that to create a virus on my laptop. But yeah, if anyone knows what this is, please comment below.
Yeah, I think there are two things that spring to mind here immediately.
What springs to mind immediately?
Well, first and foremost, okay, there was once upon a time in my life where I used to know individuals of this type. And so I can firstly say that the source material is questionable. Okay, the source
Google
material. No. Listen. I've been working on being kind, caring, and compassionate, and an empathetic human being. But unfortunately, in my life experiences, I have come across many a drama queen who like to turn mountains into molehills. When these drama queens speak and spin their tales so that the whole world gathers around them to listen to their story. That, to me, firstly, the source material is questionable. But secondly, I do have to confess that she is onto something. And that is that the powers that be, the people who rule, they like to keep all of the information to themselves. You guys know it from even your bosses at work. If there is something that you shouldn't know about or don't need to know about, there is no chance in hell that you are going to know about it. And if you are there watching YouTube, then you, sir or madame, are a peasant watching some peasants. And we, as the peasant class, have been blinded by the elite that rule and control and manipulate this planet. But she is onto something, definitely. It looked like a UFO landing pad. Area 51 is a sus and strange, much talked about place. Yes. If the peasants beneath the powers ever get too snoopy, they are silenced fast. And she was lucky. She was lucky that it was only her computer that was hacked. And she's lucky even to still be around, be out there exposing this information. Did you hear what they tried to do to Bob Lazar? Did you hear about what they were trying to do to Julian Assange and everybody else that was snooping around? These people, they don't like the snoops.
No.
But thank the good Lord, they have given us TikTok so we can spread the... So we can spread the information.
No doubt. It's a good space of spreading information.
Right.
It is. So in the imagery, there's like a portal looking thing. What do you think? What do you make of that?
This here, I feel, is easily explainable. There was a ship in the middle of a desert, is what it seems like. And if Bob Lazar said that in Area 51, in the section where he worked, it was in the side of a mountain, then to me, that would mean that there is a river running through a mountain. And to get there, you take a ship straight through into the mountain.
That ship was on desert land, and then there were tanks all around it.
The only way that ship can ever escape from there is underground or through the hills.
Oh no, the ship ain't going nowhere. It's probably like a deserted ship. I mean, because it's on land and there's literally tanks nearby. What do you make of the tanks? Why is it so heavily guarded?
Everybody that tries to take photos, even the tourists who get lost around these areas, they get mobbed by military presence. And the interrogation that they have been through ensures that they will never, ever get close to any military place.
So this is a military place?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's got tanks there.
That's what I'm saying. You know, what I think... So, but you didn't answer my question, Mohshin. What is the black portal looking thing?
Mohshin?
I cannot...
Tell us.
Listen, I can explain so much, but I cannot explain that black portal. To me, that just straight looks strange.
What about the red pool? You think it's Kool-Aid? You think it's blood?
The red pool was interesting.
It's for the vampires. Maybe it's like an agreement the government has with the vampires. They're giving them a pool of blood that they increase every year, and that's the watering hole.
I find
reasonable.
it
seems reasonable.
As unreasonable as it may seem, believe it or not, I find it pretty awesome that I am wearing purple, reminiscent of Willy Wonka, because he was one person with great ambition, and he had a chocolate river. When people would look at it, they'd think, "What the hell is that?" And if
so
stories,
the government wants Blood River.
Narratives and art are a representation of real life. And Willy Wonka is but one person, and this is undoubtedly governmental. So the government projects would exceed the ambitions of even Willy Wonka.
I bet.
So having a
Willy
massive
Wonka's
red...
a fictional character.
No, he's real. He's
like I had previously mentioned... Art and narrative are a representation.
Right. Art imitates life, life imitates art.
Right.
Classic.
Okay. So the government, if they would want a massive red pool, now I'm not saying it is Kool-Aid.
On the whim, yeah, they were just like, I want a blood river.
Red pool time.
People have attempted projects so large, and so I have a friend with a Bachelor of Science who's in the cosmetic industry, and when I stepped into his garage, it honestly looked like some kind of a science experiment. Because it was a science experiment. This here is a grand scale. It could be a grand scale science experiment. I don't think it was a pool of blood, because they would have had to slaughter something the size of a stegosaurus or something.
Maybe they did slaughter a stegosaurus. Maybe they got dinosaurs out there. Michael, what do you make of that black portal looking thing?
Yeah, I'm building a sweat over here with all this brain knowledge that I have, because not only is it not a ship, it could be a big building, and the roof is some kind of weird reflective panel.
Right.
But it could be that, just on the more skeptical side of, hey, the government doesn't hide anything from us, but
Oh, no.
we all know that's
They
happening.
do.
So
I believe that the government hides things from us so vehemently
Mhm.
that black portal, that's how she described it, isn't a portal whatsoever.
Nope.
That's not even how it actually looks on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But Google Maps is going to do what it do, and the government's going to do what it do, and they'd have to find some kind of agreement or compromise here. Same thing would apply for outer space.
Mm-hmm.
And that is protected area, and so they just black it out
Yep.
on the visual to make it look like that, because something underneath that is even more captivating,
Mm-hmm.
intriguing, and possibly horrific than a fucking black portal looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
The other element to it is, if you have that ship there in the middle of nowhere, apparently that could be for training purposes, where they could be using that for the military to shoot at and use it as target practice in different training experiences, or you know how they run different courses, different programs. And I think even Bob Lazar had said that those kind of things took place out there, which would also make sense of the tanks and then the other military bases. And so we all kind of, I guess, are on the same page when it comes to the government's probably hiding some shit under there. And then the question really beckons thought: what are they hiding so like vehemently that they have to go to such extremes to protect the area, and to build underground and then to blotch it out?
We can learn a lot from history here, and history has taught us that humanity has forever been divided into classes. And so in that way, not only so humanity, even parents would withhold their children, would withhold information from their children because their children are subordinate to them. So everyone that we are subordinate to, it's up to them whether they give us the information or withhold the information.
So we're subordinate to we're children to the government.
Well, the military class and the authorities and all of the people that rule, unfortunately, we are subordinate to them. So we have to go around snooping for this information, and when we do, it's over. It's us that get walked to the gallows. But I do have to commend the both of you today. For using a little bit of common sense.
Thank you.
Firstly, Matuse, because you had agreed that this story could have slightly been hyperbolized. I remember individuals of this type. They would see a slightly large fish at a wharf, and they would turn around and say things that, it was so big, I feared for my life.
Yeah, it was a fucking massive fish, bro.
It wasn't even that big of a fish. The fish is in the water and she's on the wharf.
And it could have killed her.
So I feel the strange phenomenon here has been a tad dramatized. And we know the dramatization from somebody who keeps saying like.
But I don't think it's been dramatized. I think she's dramatically expressing it. But the military, that is a military base. It has been blotched out for reasons of protecting whatever it is. And then that looked like a place for spaceships or some kind of, aircraft to land. It does beckon the question: what are they hiding? Why?
It's undeniably and unquestionably otherworldly. That goes without saying.
Unquestionably otherworldly.
Yes.
We know that there's a history of the government, the American government, I'm sure over the world internationally, of blocking out and belittling the idea that UFOs were real for so long until it became impossible to deny.
Until it became proven through primary sourced evidence that extraterrestrial craft have been watching us and visiting us and flying into our atmosphere.
For how long?
And for how long? I think ever since the
Years.
Roswell crash, when the aliens first made a mistake of crashing.
Do you think that's the first time they came?
No. I'm not saying that was
First
the
time they
first
made a
time they
mistake.
came, because the ancient Egyptians believed that. You've heard about this, the theories. Now, I don't want to
I've heard
go.
about this. No, go
I don't want to go too deeply into this, but
deep end.
the ancient Egyptians, there is a theory out there that the ancient Egyptians were helped by these aliens who they look towards almost as gods. And so they've been visiting us or being well acquainted with humankind for a long time. But it was only in Roswell when one of these extraterrestrials crashed into the planet. But whichever alien was flying the UFO that crashed into Roswell just sparked a whole lot of... it just opened up a Pandora's box here on Earth, and probably, I don't know, whichever planet they're
So
from.
do you think that was the first one to be land and crash, and that we take the bodies of?
I think ever since that one alien made a mistake, everything changed. As technology has improved and more video footage is being released, then we're finding out more and more about how much had been hidden from our parents and our grandparents and everybody else that was swindled into believing that there was nothing else in this universe except for us.
I'm gonna let you watch this one because you just said ancient aliens, the idea of the ancient astronauts when it came to ancient Egyptians and their gods being aliens from another planet who came and gave them the knowledge to build and to create infrastructure and civilization and language. Same thing applies to Samaria, which they say predates or kind of matches ancient Egypt on the timeline. They kind of both appear around the same time. Both ascribe their new found wisdom, knowledge, civilization, language to gods. And when they refer to the gods, they refer to them as coming from the heavens above, i.e. the universe. And the Sumerians even more specifically refer to them coming from a planet, another planet. And I'm going to let you watch this because the Anunnaki, I guess, story, narrative kind of molds into what you were talking about. And this guy kind of breaks it down very briefly, but really concise. And I want to know if you believe this stuff. What's your view on it? Because you were talking about it.
iPhone 4 first came out, if you were to ask Siri who created humans, she would have said the Anunnaki. She doesn't say this anymore, but this definitely led me down a deep rabbit hole. In 1842, British archaeologists discovered royal chambers that contained 1,000 tablets. These tablets were filled with cuneiform inscriptions. These tablets are the oldest known writings of human history, and they describe how human DNA was genetically modified by ancient creator gods known as the Anunnaki. They were from the planet Nibiru, which is said to come into Earth's orbit every 3,600 years. Nibiru's atmosphere began to deteriorate, and in order to restore it, they needed gold. Because gold has purifying properties known to resist cosmic radiation, hence why NASA uses it. The Anunnaki came to Earth to mine gold. They settled in Eridu, which is modern-day Iraq. They created a new subservient race to serve them by combining their DNA with the Homo erectus. This created Homo sapiens. The first man were known as Adamu. But some of the Anunnaki bred with humans and created Nephilim giants. These giants became cannibalistic and started to eat the humans. This enraged the Anunnaki leader Enlil. And around this time, Nibiru came back into Earth's orbit. Earth's magnetic field became weaker, temperature started to increase, and the ice cap started to melt. This ended up causing the Great Deluge. The Anunnaki god Enki saw humans as beautiful creations. Unlike his brother, he didn't want them all to be destroyed. So he instructed the chosen humans to build arks. One of the chosen ones was Ziusudra, who many of you know as Noah. After the Anunnaki left, they created royal bloodlines and established monarchies to rule over the people. It's said that these bloodlines are still in rule to this day. They also left humans with the knowledge of architecture and constructed ziggurats. These ziggurats were aligned with the constellations to help them return for their next arrival. Inside each ziggurat was said to be a stargate that helped them navigate the constellations. And the rabbit hole goes even deeper when you think about the true reason why Iraq was invaded. They didn't find any weapons of mass destruction. They didn't just want control of the oil. They wanted control of the ziggurat of Ur, which housed the stargate. But that's a video for another time.
Yeah.
Damn, Stargate.
What do I make of it? Well, the creationist theory from every different cultural perspective says a different story. The indigenous have a different explanation for the origins of life. The Aztecs have a different
even the Aztecs, though, for the most part, it was gods that came from the heavens above that gave him that wisdom. I mean, there are even tribes within Africa that knew about Sirius B, a star that you cannot see with the naked eye, and they're a very old civilization. And when they were asked how they know that, they said their gods told them at the start of time when they had come down from space and told them that's where they're from.
The drama with living in present time is that when we look over to the ancient times, there's nothing to verify. It would be arrogant and ignorant just to discard the possibility of this being true.
Yes.
Now there will come a time, and that time will be on the last day when the trumpet is blown.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
when
not according to what the Anunnaki, their narrative, that's not true.
Oh, what I'm trying to say is, on the last day, we will find out the truth of the creation story.
Yep.
And then everybody will look at each other. And the ones who got their creation story correct, I'm not sure if they're going to be cheering or they're going to be arrogant and ignorant. It is a great mystery. The evolution versus creationism is probably the major two theories right now as to where humanity started, where humans came from.
The people who just use science to I mean, the thing about it is the difference between creationism is it's not based in any science. It's actually contradictive to all sciences. Whilst the Anunnaki idea still plays within it, because the notion is that we evolved and at some point we were genetically mutated. Like there was a genetic splicing of their genetics. We made man in our image, and that's why we look the way we look. So our ancestors were still Homo erectus, and we became Homo sapien through that genetic inclusion.
The evidence for this is irrefutably strong in that the human looks like a hybrid of a grey and a chimpanzee.
And there you go.
So
These guys are more
in that
humanoid.
respect, our phenotypical characteristics would display
Phenotypical, nice.
Yes, so these are outward appearances, right? So we have the genes and anyways. So phenotypically, we definitely, I'd say, represent half a grey and half. You know what? I'm not going to say chimpanzee because I would prefer the silverback gorilla.
Well, let us know what you guys think about the theories about the government, whether they're hiding and what they're hiding at Ridgecrest, I think it's called, and other places. I mean, there's all across the world. They're hiding stuff.
What are they hiding in Antarctica?
What are they hiding in Antarctica? That maybe we got to explore that next. And if you guys believe in the Anunnaki theory that we were genetically mutated by an alien race that created us in order to be subservient, and we are just reflecting upon our gods. Peace, peace, peace.